the first person I heard um, with this idea was a guy who I believe goes by Mech Muscles. Now I'm not sure if that's his real name. Probably not. Pretty sure it's just his online name. But he's one of the three guys that hosts the podcast called Triple KO, and it's Maximilian, it's Justin Wong, and Meg Muscle. And I would say out of the three, he's probably the one that I probably relate to the most, due to the fact that he likes a lot of the the lore and a lot of the other extra shit that is involved with the fighting game community. Um, and I'm pretty sure he's pretty good, a pretty good player. But it seems like he's a little bit more like me, to where we like the art part of it and the yeah, the dumb stuff on the side. But yeah, he was the one that came up with this idea of what characters they wanted it to be in the new Street Fighter Six, and he brought up um, Carlos Miyamoto, who I knew about, but I didn't know that much about because I never really played Final Fight. And and the reason that I was thinking about this character in particular is because I was thinking about, I was watching another video and I was thinking about how, each representative of the old school has a new younger representative to represent them in the new school, and they all have their own unique ways of doing that in a very American way. And what I mean by that, because for example, you got Kimberly, who is an African American girl, teenager who is studying Bujin Ryu from Guy, right? Which is a ninja style of ninjutsu that Guy uses. And Guy, if you guys don't know, I'm pretty sure you do. It's a character from Final Fight, the game Final Fight, which is a beat 'em up. I believe it's the beat 'em up. But and and this character, Carlos Miyamoto, he's from that game. He's one of the characters that you could choose in that game, and that game is placed in takes place in Metro City, and so Metro City, is also the same place where Street Fighter is taking place. Street Fighter Six, especially, is gonna be taking place in. Um, and that's one of the reasons why I think he should be brought back. It's just one of the reasons, but the main reason is because of what I was saying about how most of these new characters are taking, these young characters are taking kind of like the mantle from these old characters, and and they all seem to be very diverse in their designs. Especially the game in itself as a whole has always been a diverse game. Of course, it's called The World Warriors, but even though the game itself as a whole has been diverse, because it includes people from Mexico, people from India, people from the US, Japan, China, and all these others. So it's always been diverse in that sense. But as far as the character design goes, and the way they speak of these other countries, the game is very, in my opinion, stereotypical, or at least attacks designing, or the task of designing characters or telling a story by using very commonly known stereotypes from each country, including their own, which is, the game is made in Japan, so including the Japanese stereotype of them knowing karate and sumo wrestling and bathhouses, so um this is not just them, stereotyping other countries, or like Russian wrestler, American boxer. um it's them, also at the same time stereotyping, themselves, or at least the way they go about designing characters. But you know and it's simpler to do that. It's very easy to do that. So in order to come up with a design, if you go by stereotyping, that would be the easiest way of figuring out how to design a character. And that's why humans in general, that we stereotype, because we need to make it easy on ourselves, to predict what is gonna happen, or to predict if we trust someone or not. It's not correct, or it's not always right, but it's something that we do regardless, whether we want to admit it or not, But anyways, that's going into something else. But what I'm trying to say is, in this new era of Street Fighter, in Street Fighter Six, most of the characters seem to be more of a mixed bag of tricks, or mixed bag of things. So they're not necessarily sticking to, you know, a certain old school stereotype. Of course, the original World Warriors are going to be there, so they're going to stay the same, right? They're still going to be fitting a certain design, because they are the original um, Street Fighters. But these new guys, guys like Kimberly, that girl with the gi, um, the Italian girl with the helmet and the muscles, she's very much a mixed bag as well. Even JP, you know. So what I'm trying to say is, this new generation of Street Fighters seem to be, like I said, a mixed bag. But the only one that seems to be stuck in the past, the stereotypical designs, is, Lily. She's still a Native American Mexican girl, Native Mexican girl. So that is kind of, like so everybody's moving forward except for my girl Lily, because she's from Mexico or something. And then it kind of it doesn't bother me, but it kind of like, like, you know why isn't she a little bit, moving with the rest of the game as well? Why doesn't she have like something um that's also kind of a mixed bag, or a diversity within the character? Um, and I started to remember, what has Capcom done characters like that? And the answer is yes. In Final Fight, most of the characters were like that. Most of the characters, were a mixed bag of things. They were very um, complex characters, or at least in their design. Nothing like the original World Warriors, basically. And nobody, you know, um, nobody was more like that than Carlos Miyamoto. Right? Carlos Miyamoto is the character that I hope Capcom brings back, because he pretty much encapsulates that essence of I guess you could say an American, or a person that is more diverse in their thoughts, or more of a mixed bag, like Kimberly, and all these other new characters. So why is that? Because he's a guy who's dressed, kind of like a cowboy, in a way, or like a Native American cowboy. That's kind of like his look. He got, similar to T-Hawk, which is another thing, that he could be related to T-Hawk. And there's something that I've always thought, that maybe he was like a cousin, or something related to T-Hawk. And I also thought that, it would be a good idea to bring him into the storyline, by him knowing, Lily, and Lily could be like maybe like um, T-Hawk's sister or something. I'm really not sure though how the storyline is, but they could also be connected to um to Carlos Miyamoto. And Carlos Miyamoto is a weird one because um he's a guy with a Japanese last name. Carlos and then Miyamoto. So I don't know how that's explained or anything like that in the game. I don't know if anybody who actually played the game knows anything about him, but he's basically a guy, who's dressed like a native cowboy, kind of like something out of a Robert Rodriguez movie, and but he has a samurai sword, which is also very well, not necessarily Robert Rodriguez, but more like his friend. What's his name? Damn, I forgot his name. He's very popular. But yeah, he's a very cool looking character, and I'm actually drawing him in this in this video. I'm gonna be drawing him, and yeah, I just think that he is perfect for this game. Because you got, for example, Kimberly, who is a African American girl who loves ninjutsu, but she also likes to do graffiti, and she loves music. So she has a mixed bag of things going on with her. And the music she likes is old school music. I think she likes like 80s pop. So she's a very diverse or a mixed bag of things in her character. And then you got the Italian chick who's very muscular, and she has like a helmet or something. So that's another character in that sense too. You got JP, who is another one. Um, and all of these characters seem to be, leaving that whole stereotypical thing behind and kind of doing this whole new thing. And I feel like Carlos Miyamoto is that guy to come in. Um, and since he looks like he's already related to T-Hawk and Lily, maybe he could be that, kind of like new gen type thing going on. But anyways, that's just, I guess wishful thinking. But at the same time, you know, lately most of the stuff that I've been wishing for when it comes to Street Fighter 6 have been coming true. So I'm just putting that out there. Carlos Miyamoto should be a DLC, maybe the third installment. Maybe when you do like a Final Fight pack. You do like a Final Fight pack, and you include Mike Hager, Carlos Miyamoto, and that girl, I forgot her name. But there's a girl in there. But yeah, that's pretty much my idea. I had some other ideas for characters as well, like a guy who uses a soccer ball to fight crime. I mean, to fight, whatever. And yeah, you could do like him bouncing off the ball off his characters or using it as a projectile. It's definitely a good idea. But it would be cool to see how they go about doing that. In the game. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much where my idea is coming from. I feel like he would be a good character, and if they make it to where he's related to T-Hawk, that'll be even better. Like a longtime cousin or something, or maybe like his lost brother or something like that. Um, and it would make sense because I mean their design is very close to each other. It's very similar to each other. It's just that he got a samurai sword. Which is pretty cool. And I'm not saying that Lily is a bad character. At the beginning in the other video, I was telling you guys how I was excited to see how she played, and I was glad that she was in there in a way, because she's representing Native American culture and Native Mexican culture and stuff like that, which is something that I'm very passionate about. But at the same time, it would be better if she was more of a mixed bag of things, because to be honest, most people are like that. Like, for example, myself, I'm a Mexican American who also likes Japanese culture and Italian culture. So, no one is like from Mexico, so I have to absolutely love Mexican food and everything like that. Nobody's really like that, especially here in the U.S. where everything's so diverse. And this game is going to be in Metro City, which is placed in the U.S., so it has to be more diverse with its characters, which it is. More of a characters, more of a mixed bag, which I hope I'm making sense with what I'm saying here. Um, and I feel like they need a character to represent that type of person, and they do have it. But I'm saying I feel like Lily is kind of not that. I feel like Lily is kind of stuck in that old T-Hawk type of thing. But anyways, guys, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to give your opinion, please do in the comment section as well. So thank you, guys.